oxidation state or oxidation number. It is the charge assigned. It is the charge assigned to the central metal ion. It is the charge assigned to the central metal ion when all the ligands along with their electron pairs are removed from the central metal ion. So the definition is, it is the charge assigned to the central metal ion when all the ligands along with the electron pairs are removed from the central metal ion. Now we are going to see examples. For example, CuNH3 2 plus. Here the central metal ion is copper. Central metal ion is copper. So now the oxidation state of copper is +2. So usually oxidation state should be indicated by Roman numeral in parenthesis. So oxidation state of copper is like this, it has to be indicated. So we have seen the oxidation state of copper in tetramine copper 2 ion. So copper is the central metal ion which is bonded with 4 ammonia molecules. Here when you see the central metal ion copper, the oxidation state is +2 here. Therefore usually the oxidation state should be indicated by Roman numeral in parenthesis. So copper Roman numeral 2 I have written in parenthesis. So this is one example. The other example is PtCl4 2 minus. So here the central metal ion is platinum. The central metal ion is platinum. Oxidation state of platinum is, it is a 2, platinum 2. So usually oxidation state of a central metal ion should be written in Roman numeral in parenthesis. So I have given 2 examples. One is tetramine copper 2 ion. The other one is tetrachloridoplatinate ion. Tetrachloridoplatinate ion. So in the first case, copper is the central metal ion where the oxidation state is +2. So it should be written in Roman numeral in parenthesis. Similarly, in case of tetrachloridoplatinate ion where the central metal ion is platinum which has a oxidation state of +2 here. So it should be written as Roman numeral 2 in the parenthesis. Now we are going to see the calculation of oxidation state or oxidation number. So far I have defined the oxidation state or oxidation number. Definition alone I gave. Now we are going to see how it is calculated. So before starting with the calculation, I wanted to give the charges for positive, negative as well as neutral ligands, because we are going to see different types of complexes. So you need to know the charges of positive, negative as well as neutral species that is attached to the central metal ion. So before starting with the calculation of oxidation state, I am going to give the charges of various positive, negative and neutral ligands. To start with, negative ligands end with O. negative ligands end with O. For example, cyano. The first one is cyano. The formula is Cn minus. So it has got one negative charge. So it is minus 1. The charge is minus 1. When you take sulfato, the formula is SO4 2 minus. So here the charge is minus 2. When you take nitrito, the charge is minus 1. When you take chloro, which is Cl minus, charge is minus 1. Bromo, Br minus, charge is minus 1. If you take fluoro, F minus, which is minus 1. Like this, we are having so many negative ligands. Usually negative ligands end with O. That's why cyano, sulfato, nitrito, chloro, bromo, fluoro, etc. So the ending point will be O. So always these negative ligands, they will be ending with O. For example, if you take cyano, it is Cn minus. So here it has got only one negative charge. So charge is minus 1. Sulfato, the symbol is SO4 2 minus. Here the charge is minus 2. Nitrito, NO2 minus, the charge is minus 1. Chlorido, the charge is minus 1. Similarly, bromido, it is minus 1. Fluorido, it is minus 1. Next, we are going to see other radicals also. All these are negative ligands. All these are negative ligands. So, in order to calculate the oxidation state, we need to know the charges of negative, positive as well as neutral ligands. Some more ligands I will be writing here. Oxalato. The formula is COO minus COO minus. Here the charge of oxalate ion is minus 2. Cyanato, thiocyanato. Here the charge is minus 1. Isothiocyanate. Here also the charge is minus 1. So like this, there are charges for positive ligands also. Positive ligands also, there are charges. Only when you know the charges of the ligands, we can able to calculate the oxidation state or the oxidation number. Positive ligands. End with IUM. For example, For example, nitrosonium. The name of the ligand is nitrosonium because the positive ligand. So I told positive ligand will be ending with IUM. So nitrosonium, the formula is NO plus. Here this ligand has got only one positive charge, so charge will be plus 1. Similarly, nitronium, which is NO2 plus. There is a difference between nitrosonium and nitronium. So nitrosonium is NO positive charge which has a plus 1 charge. Here nitronium is NO2 positive where the charge is plus 1. The next one is hydrazinium. This is hydrazinium where the charge is positive. So it is plus 1. So all this we can give examples for positive ligands. So positive ligands end with IUM. The first one nitrosonium NO plus where the charge is plus 1. Nitronium NO2 plus the charge is plus 1. Hydrazinium NH3 NH2 plus the charge is plus 1. Now we are going to start with neutral molecules. So far we have discussed negative ligands that has ended with O. I have given so many examples. Positive ligands that has ended with IUM. I gave 3 examples. Now we are going to say neutral molecules. Neutral ligands are neutral molecules which are called as neutral molecules or neutral ligands. The name of the neutral ligand, the first one, I am introducing carbonyl. The formula is CO and charge is 0. Nitrosyl. The formula is NO, charge is 0. Aqua. H2O. Ligand, neutral ligand, so it is 0. Amine, that is ammonia, which is also a neutral molecule which will have 0 charge. Similarly, bipyridyl, bipyridyl, so it is as a charge 0. So all these are neutral molecules with charge is equal to 0. After we now know what are the charges of positive, negative and neutral ligands. Now we are going to calculate the oxidation state or oxidation number of the central metal ion. First I gave definition and I told you there are so many ligands which are positive, negative and neutral. I have given some examples and with the symbol and the charges I have given. Based on this we are going to calculate the oxidation state of a central metal ion. I am going to do at least 3 sums so that you will be getting a clear picture. The next one, calculation of oxidation state or oxidation number. To start with, I am going to write the complex tetramine copper 2 ion. Here the central metal ion is copper. We are going to calculate the oxidation state of a central metal ion. As the central metal ion is copper, I don't know the oxidation state of copper. So I am taking for copper, I am considering for copper I am taking X. So I am taking for copper X, I am substituting X for copper. And there are 4 ammonia molecules attached to copper. Already we have seen ammonia is a neutral ligand. So it has a charge 0. So the oxidation state is nothing but the algebraic sum of the charges of the central metal ion and the ligand should be equal to the charge of the complex ion. So when you sum up the charges of the central metal ion and the ligand, that should be equal to the charge of the complex ion. So first I gave the oxidation state definition. We have given so many ligands with their charges. Now I wanted to quote examples. The first one is tetramine copper 2 ion. So here I wanted to find out the oxidation state of copper. I don't know. So I am substituting, I am taking it as X. It is unknown. So I am taking it as X. There are 4 ammonia molecules. Ammonia is a neutral ligand. So it will have a charge 0. So actually when you sum up the algebraic sum of the charges of the central metal ion and the ligand, that should be equal to the charge of the complex. So we are going to find out the charge of the central metal ion now. As copper is unknown, I am taking it as X plus 4 molecules of ammonia are there. So I am writing 4 into NH3, which is equal to charge of the complex, that is equal to plus 2. So X plus 4 into ammonia, it is neutral ligand, so it is 0, that is equal to plus 2. So X plus 4 into 0, 0, that is equal to plus 2. Therefore X is equal to plus 2. So oxidation number or oxidation state of copper is plus 2. Usually it should be written in Roman numeral in parenthesis. So it is copper, so it is plus 2. The next one we are going to say other example, that is PtCl4 2 minus. This is nothing but tetrachloridoplatinate ion. So here also platinum is unknown. I don't know the oxidation state of platinum. I am assuming it as X. For platinum, I am assuming it as X. There are 4 chlorine atoms bonded to the platinum. Chlorine is a negatively charged ligand. There are 4 chlorine. The charge is minus 1. For 1 chlorine it is minus 1. There are 4 chlorine atoms. So I am going to substitute now. X plus 4 into chlorine is equal to minus 2. That is equal to charge of the complex. So X plus 4 into charge of the chlorine is minus 1. That is equal to minus 2. So X minus 4 is equal to minus 2. Therefore X is equal to minus 2 plus 4. That is equal to plus 2. Therefore oxidation state of platinum is 2 here. So it should be written as Roman numeral in parenthesis. So this is the second example. The third example, I am going to show another example. The next compound is trioxalato-ferrate 3 ion. Trioxalato-ferrate 3 ion. So we are going to say the charge of the central metal ion now. So as ion is unknown, I don't know the oxidation state. I am taking it as X. So X plus, there are 3 oxalate ions. So 3C2O4, that is equal to charge of the complex, that is equal to minus 3. So X plus 3 into for oxalate, for 1 oxalate it is minus 2. There are totally 3 oxalate ions. So 3 into minus 2, that is equal to minus 3. So x minus 6 is equal to minus 3, therefore x is equal to minus 3 plus 6, therefore x is equal to plus 3. So the oxidation state, here the oxidation state of iron of Fe is plus 3. Usually it should be indicated in Roman numeral. So Fe3 in parenthesis. So this is how we have calculated the oxidation state or oxidation number of the central metal ion. So I defined the oxidation state, then I told the charges of positive, negative and neutral ligands. I gave 3 examples to calculate the oxidation state of the central metal ion. So from this I think that you understood this topic. Then we are going to see the next topic, coordination number. The next one is coordination number. It is the number of ligand molecules that are attached to the central metal ion. So coordination number is nothing but the number of ligand molecules that are attached to the central metal ion. For example, I am going to show how to calculate the coordination number. Can you take, I am going to give an example here. CuNH34 2 plus. So this is one of the example. Here the central metal ion is copper. So the definition is the number of ligand molecules that are attached to the central metal ion. When you see the ligand molecule here, it is ammonia. There are 4 ammonia molecules bonded to the central metal ion. Therefore, coordination number is equal to 4. There are 4 ammonia molecules bonded to the central metal ion. So already the definition is very clear. The number of ligand molecules that are bonded to the central metal ion, as there are 4 ammonia molecules bonded to the central metal ion, coordination number is 4. The other complex FeCN6 4 minus. Here we are going to calculate the coordination number. Already I told you, it is the number of ligand molecules attached to the central metal ion. The central metal ion is ion here. The number of ligand molecules, cyanogen is the atom ligand, negative ligand, which is attached to the central metal ion. There are totally 6 cyanogen atoms attached to the central metal ion. Therefore, coordination number is 6. Similarly, here when you talk about this complex, it is tetrachloridoplatinate ion. Tetrachloridoplatinate ion. Here platinum is the central metal ion where 4 chlorine atoms are bonded to the central metal ion. Chlorine is a negative ligand. There are 4 chlorine totally. So the 4 chlorine atom constitutes the coordination number. So coordination number is equal to 4. Now we are going to see Werner's coordination theory. Werner, he belonged to Switzerland. He was a Swiss chemist and he has postulated his famous coordination theory in the year 1898. He was awarded Nobel Prize for his coordination compounds, for his work in the coordination chemistry. Moreover, he has prepared so many coordination compounds and he has studied about the physical and the chemical properties of those compounds. So today, once again, I will say we are going to start with Werner's coordination theory. Alfred Werner, who was a Swiss chemist, who has started his work on coordination chemistry, he has given his postulates in 1898 and he has been awarded, we can call him as father of coordination chemistry. He was awarded Nobel Prize for his work in the coordination compounds. He has synthesized so many coordination compounds and he has studied the properties, physical and chemical properties of coordination compounds. Now I am going to say about the postulates of Werner's coordination theory. Werner's coordination theory. Postulate number 1. In a coordination compound, the central metal ion has two different linkages or valencies. So the first point, the central metal ion in the coordination compound has two different linkages or valencies. Second point, primary and secondary valencies. So the first point, in a coordination compound, the central metal ion has two different linkages which are otherwise called as valencies. They are primary and secondary valencies. Third point, primary valencies are ionizable and are satisfied by negative ions. So here the first point is, in a coordination compound, the central metal ion has two different linkages or valencies. Second point, the linkages are primary and secondary linkages or valencies. Third point, primary valencies are ionizable and are satisfied by negative ions. So it corresponds to oxidation state of a central metal ion. It corresponds to the oxidation state of a central metal ion. It corresponds to oxidation state of the central metal ion. Fourth point, secondary valencies are non-ionizable and are satisfied by negative or neutral ligands. It corresponds to the coordination number of the central metal ion. It corresponds to the coordination number of the central metal ion. So first point is, in a coordination compound, the central metal ion has two different linkages or valencies. They are primary and secondary valencies. Next point, primary valencies are ionizable and are satisfied by negative ions. It corresponds to the oxidation state of the central metal ion. The secondary valencies are non-ionizable and are satisfied by negative or neutral ligands. It corresponds to the coordination number of the central metal ion. The secondary valencies which are bound to the central metal ion as specific characteristic, specific geometry. The last point, secondary valencies which are bound to the central metal ion as specific geometry. For example, CONH3 3 plus. So here the coordination number is 6. The coordination number of central metal ion that is cobalt, that is equal to 6. So as the geometry depends upon the coordination number, if the coordination number is 6, this particular complex will have octahedral geometry. So shape will be octahedral. So secondary valencies that are attached to the central metal ion, so it will give the definite geometry because it is related to the coordination number. As the coordination number of cobalt here is 6, so the shape is octahedral. So the shape will be like this. Cobalt will be the central metal ion. So the shape will be like this. Towards all the 6 corners are occupied by ammonia. So here this is the complex where cobalt is the central metal ion, all the 6 corners are occupied by ammonia molecules, so it has got the octahedral shape. So definitely the secondary valencies which are bound to the central metal ion, which is related to the, so it will give the definite geometry related to the coordination number. As the coordination number of this complex is 6, for central metal ion is 6, so it will have a octahedral geometry. So it is the octahedral geometry. The next one we are going to talk about nickel tetracarbonyl. The coordination number of nickel is 4 here, because there are 4 neutral ligands, that is 4 carbon monoxide attached to the nickel, that is carbonyl groups attached to the nickel. So the coordination number is 4. If the coordination number is 4, there are two possible geometry. Either it can have square planar or tetrahedral structure. So here in this case, as nickel carbonyl group is attached to the nickel, this complex will have tetrahedral shape like this. So shape will be tetrahedral. So it will have a tetrahedral shape where all the four corners are occupied by carbonyl groups.